Mindfulness used to be considered a soft skill and interpersonal skill, but today it's become an essential part of overall healthcare. I'm Lance, I consult in this space, and if you're new to the game, mindfulness, I'm going to advise you to your first starting point and tell you why it should not be with an app. Mindfulness is a broad word that generally refers to living in the present moment. Essentially, it means being more aware and awake to each moment and being fully engaged in what is happening in one's surroundings with acceptance and without judgment. It's a skill that can be trained, commonly through meditation or other types of training, and this is one of the goals of the Headspace app. A common criticism of the mindfulness apps out there is the lack of science based evidence behind them, and it's true, most are not founded on evidence based research of any kind. Well, that's no more for at least Headspace, as MIT researchers just released a study, link is in the description, where they assess the impact of the mindfulness training offered through the Headspace app, which offers guided meditations and mindfulness exercises. This was a 4-week experiment involving just under 2,500 adults here in the US. The participants were recruited through Facebook and Instagram and expressed an interest in trying Headspace. It skewed female and educated. Consider that for what you will. At the end of the day, the app showed meaningful impacts on stress, depression, and anxiety, comparable to cognitive behavioral treatment. With respect to depression, the share of participants who reported some measure of depression dropped 13.5%, and also reported other benefits, including heightened focus and increased feelings of ease when tackling a stressful problem. With respect to anxiety, the study looked at the app in the context of effectiveness in enhancing job performance and a cognitive task, proofreading. And there, it appeared to be about a 2% scale of measurement in delivering improvement. The improvements were slight. The positive impacts were not durable. They weren't lasting once you stopped using the app to the point of being undetectable after 1 month. Interestingly, the study revealed that there are short-lived adverse effects with decision-making and productivity when a person uses a meditation technique immediately before a task, and warned organizations against encouraging meditation sessions immediately before important decision-making events or in the middle of a stressful workday. What's interesting to me is this disclosure supports the integrity of the study as not being a Headspace advertisement. I understand this to be saying you can't wing it at the job, and if you try to manifest a mindfulness state on demand that has not been cultivated over time and prior, it's not going to be helpful. There is no instant mindfulness, no mindfulness in a can that you can open on the spot. This isn't the first time the benefits of the Headspace app have been highlighted by research. A study by researchers from Lancaster University in the UK found that Headspace is evidence-based, and app users showed decreased depression and increased positive emotions after 10 days. A link to that study is in the description. Another small trial of 120 participants using Headspace found a significant reduction in anxiety and depressive symptoms, sleeping problems, and blood pressure, along with significant increases in perceived job control and overall wellness. A link to that study is also in the description. So Headspace has some receipts, some science-based efficacy that the app can benefit your mental health, focus, and decision-making ability if used consistently and correctly. Now for some, and it should be said, there can be a dark side to all this, as meditation practices have been linked to triggering of unusual outcomes, not all positive. Meditation has been used to depersonalize soldiers, for example, and some people can develop what is referred to as a meditation sickness. I've seen numbers suggesting as high as 5% and more of those engaged in meditation having negative outcomes, often lasting 1 to 3 years, and some even ending in hospitalization and worse. I will leave a link to some of this research in the description. I would not describe embarking upon a mindfulness journey as plug and play. You want clarity on and of purpose, and I would not rely on an app to be helpful in discerning that. I would, though, rely on a book, and in the description I will leave the titles of 4 books for beginners that, in my serving as a consultant in this space, I repeatedly hear come up time and time again as excellent starting points. And I say this because though mindfulness is not complicated, it can be challenging. And you want to see all the moving parts and understand the big picture from the 30,000-foot view, all that's involved and the potential benefits to be realized in the journey, the effects of mindfulness and meditation on your health, psyche, and overall quality of life. And if a book is more than what you want to deal with right now, there's an article by Rebecca Ruiz titled Calm Yourself: One Woman's Quest to Find the Right Meditation App in a Messed Up World. It's an excellent article that'll give you food for thought of all to consider in approaching mindfulness as a beginner through an app. So if you're not feeling a book, it's a 3-minute read that will be time well spent. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe. I'm Lance. This is Therapy Grind. Until next time, take care.